Blog Talk Radio.
Now tuned in to the mother greatest.
All right. Yeah.
Hey, happy Friday, everybody. What's going on, y'all? Hey, T, I feel like we haven't been together in forever. Hey, Lissha, girl, it is so good to be back on the airwaves with you. But, no grass goes on our feet, as I always say here on Let's Chat. Coupled with Real Raw Radio, we are always busy, and it's always a great time when we are on the air. How you doing, girl? Yes, girl, the struggle was real this week. I've been in my cave so deep. I haven't had a drink in so long, but a bottle of wine was looking really good. Oh, no. Let me send that over there to you. Oh, no. It was. Oh, my God. I need a drink. That's a rough week, girl. That's a rough week. Yes. Girl, you just don't know. Very rough. Very rough. But happy to be here. So excited. I love being in our chat room. Tonight we have an awesome show. We got awesome guests. We got BlackWidow from Nene Capri Presents. We got author and publisher Blaque and author and publisher Nene Capri in the house today. They're going to be talking about that diamonds, pumps, and glocks. We've been waiting on that, haven't we? Yes. Just the title alone, Reach, got me over here, like, salivating. Just my pointer finger's like, yes, hovering over the. I'm ready. I am ready for that diamonds, pumps, and glocks. And I call the show GameChanger, only because that's going to be a hot book. Oh, it's about to go down. I'm so excited. Yes, I can't even imagine. Nene's pen coupled with Black's pen, man, that's just pure explosion, as they say, TNT. So I hope everybody's ready for when it drops. Just make sure they keep their cyber eyes peeled. Between yours, mine, and Nene's page, it's going to be getting out there. And I can't wait, girl. I can't wait. Absolutely. And then we got Miss BlackWidow. She is Nene Capri's author. She's coming in to the clubhouse about 8. And we're going to talk about, her just coming into the scene as a new author. Super excited. She is so sweet. I can't wait for her book to drop. Me too. I was thinking about the show. This has been such a explosive show that I've been trying to formulate how I want to approach the show, because we have some well-seasoned authors on the line, and then we got a newbie on the line. So it's going to be so exciting to hear the comparison on how they approach the industry and what they're taking away from the industry. So I'm excited to hear their different perspectives of that. Absolutely. And the one thing I say about even both authors, Blaque and Nene, is because they are veteran authors. And, we always talk about having that universal pen and being able to walk in with integrity in such a tainted industry. And I think they both do that well. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's kind of what the industry is missing, those seasoned authors that are able to just walk through and keep going. They don't get into too much of anything. They just keep it moving, and they're building up their library. So that's the best part about having seasoned authors.
It is, and I love the title of our show tonight, Game Changer. You can take that in so many directions, Lee, and I would love to hear how Nene and Blaque feel about how the game has changed since they wrote their first book, and also what Widow has learned since she's been in the game. Even though she hasn't dropped her first book, we know for sure that she's gathering jewels. So she is well armed and well prepared. So this Game Changer is a great, great title.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, when they came on the scene, it was really not too many ebooks. It was paperbacks. So we always talk about that paperback. That paperback life is so different. And how they just kind of took both and kind of merged them together and made it work. A lot of times you see that some people can't do that. They can't grasp the ebook life. And some ebook, authors can't grasp the paperback life. So being able to have those two abilities to merge together, those two tools to push your brand and your book and your pen to the next level is just awesome. But I think we're going to start off the show with our favorite thing, our tribute to the ultimate reader. Now, we're going to do our tribute to the ultimate reader because we have two seasoned authors that I know have experienced this.
Absolutely.
So we're going to take a brief break. We're going to do our tribute to the ultimate reader, and we're going to be back with author Blaque and author Nene Capri.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Paul. This is all wrong.
What?
You'll have to do it over again. It's not worthy of you. Throw it all out, except for that part of naming the gravedigger after me. You can leave that in.
I really value your criticism, but maybe we're being a little hasty here.
Paul, what you've written just isn't fair.
Not fair.
That's right. When I was growing up in Bakersfield, my favorite thing in all the world was to go to the movies on Saturday afternoons for the chapter plays.
Cliffhangers.
I know that, Mr. Man. They also call them serials. I'm not stupid, Anyway, my favorite was Rocket Man, and once it was a no-brakes chapter. And the bad guy stuck him in a car on a mountain road and knocked him out and welded the door shut and tore out the brakes and started him to his death. And he woke up and tried to steer and tried to get out, but the car went off a cliff before he could escape. And it crashed and burned, and I was so upset and excited. And the next week, you better believe I was first in line. And they always start with the end of the last week. And there was Rocket Man trying to get out. And here comes the cliff. And just before the car went off the cliff, he jumped free. And all the kids cheered. But I didn't cheer. I stood right up and started shouting, "This isn't what happened last week. Have you all got amnesia? They just cheated us. This isn't fair. He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car."
They always cheated like that in chapter plays.
But not you. Not with my misery. Remember, Ian did ride for Dr. Cleary at the end of the last book, but his horse fell jumping that fence, and Ian broke his shoulder and his ribs and lay all night in the ditch, and he never reached the doctor, so there couldn't have been any experimental blood transfusion that saved her life. Misery was buried in the ground at the end, Paul, so you'll have to start there.
Yes, I love that clip. That is our tribute to the ultimate reader. Now, if you are an author, our queue is so full, but if you're an author, you know what I'm talking about. You got that one reader in your box. Now, the one reader in your box or on your phone, depending on your relationship, has ran down the fact that in this book, this couldn't have possibly happened. Because, see, what happened on page 54, no, this happened on 150. They in it. They know what happened, who did it, when they did it, and if you miss something, it's about to go down. And don't kill off their favorite character, Nene, or break up their favorite couple, because then it's a problem. Everybody up in arms, it's going down, and they hunting you. They in your box, and don't be late with your book, because every author has a schedule, and your readers know your schedule. And if your book's just late, about 2 days, 3 days, or even an hour, they in your book like, what's up? What's going on?
I know, that is so true. That is so true. I usually keep my opinion on my favorite, character until the end. That I know it's the end of a series, and you won't be gotten killed off or anything.
Man, Nene good for killing somebody. Her and Cash. They
each play the other. And what Nene was Cash, so it was Nene.
Right, they didn't do it. And Blaque, she good for killing folk off too. I was just getting to like that for. Oh, they gone now. They ain't coming back either.
No reincarnation.
Absolutely no reincarnation. They try to feed you some new people though. But
it's those characters, they tend to grow on you. They become your family and your friends, and you don't want to see them killed off. And the way they get killed off, Lish, oh my God! Sometimes there is nothing left to come back.
Absolutely not, none. And when you have seasoned authors, I just love the way they just move. They do what they got to do, and then that's it. They're not sitting there. They're not going to explain to you why Susie got killed. Susie just dead. I'm sorry, but here's Sandy. I think you're going to like Sandy. Just like in the clip. I appreciate your criticism, but I just didn't ask you for it. So we're going to bring them in. We're going to bring them in. Let's bring in author Nene Capri and author Blaque.
All right. Hey, good evening.
Good
evening. What's happening?
Hey,
Blaque. Have you guys on? Yes. Okay, for all of those, we're going to just break it up a little bit. For all those that don't know who you are, we want each of you to just tell everybody a little about yourself and your work. We'll start with Blaque.
I am the Black Angel, I use the moniker the Black Angel. I am currently signed to G Street Chronicles, where I started my career. I'm going to probably die with my career at G Street Chronicles. It's been a whirlwind ride. I have 16 titles under my belt. My collaboration with Ms. Nene Capri is going to be my 17th title, and I'm known as the literary assassin because I'm one of those people you was talking about, I'm going to kill them. I can't help it. It's just in me. I have a body count.
They got to go.
They got to go.
They ain't pay their bills. They got to go.
Oh, Lord. And Miss Nene Capri.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Blaque, we don't get a chance to talk. It don't make no kind of sense. I have people writing the book together. They don't even talk to each other. We just feel each other.
Right.
We just feel each other.
Right.
So, definitely blessed to be on the line tonight. Again, I'm author Nene Capri. I busted into this industry with the Pussy Trap series. Did that in 2011. However, was on the scene ever since 2000. When Wahida started her journey, working behind the scenes, moving her books, moving some of the authors' books that was behind the scene. And in 2011, I dropped my first novel, Blessed and Honored to Be in the Game. I think I'm on number 10. I'm not sure. Lissha had to tell me. I got an anthology out that's all nonprofit. 100% of the proceeds go to domestic violence as Love is Blind. And we have the Trust No Bitch series and the Tainted series under G Street Chronicles. And it's just moving. It's been a phenomenal experience for us as well. We got crazy stuff going on.
Well, that's awesome. Welcome to the next chat, Ms. Nene Capri and Blaque. This is Toni. Now, I'm just going to get right to the point. What was the inspiration between your new collaboration? Because I'm so excited. Is this the first time you ladies are writing together?
Yes, it's the very first time we are writing together. And it's been a journey and an experience, and I'm so honored to go this route with Nene Capri because her mind is fascinating. So it's like her, and I'm going to be honest, I have her book. I'll read a couple pages, and I'm like, okay, I can't read because I have to write. But doing this collab with her, it's like I thought I was gory. I thought I wrote about some boss chicks. Nah, man.
Wow.
You know, it's been a journey to try to add my gory with her, like, boss chick stance. You know, like, she's going to deal with some real rugged, street, hardcore, we going to kill them up. And me, I'm going to find the most unique twist I can possibly find. You're going to think a book is going one way, and we're going to take you and spin you another way. We're going to flip it and freak it. And bringing those two minds together, it's incredible. And I'm honored to be able to write with someone like Nene Capri.
Thank you. I appreciate that because it almost happened in the opposite. If we can give you a little bit of history, if we will. We started off in 2012 with a book challenge. Cash had challenged Aaron Bebo to a book challenge. They got into a thing. We're going to write the same title, same everything, except it's going to be different content inside. They got the readers involved. The readers started voting on titles and tossing stuff around, so they ended up picking Till My Casket Drops. During that time, they also was like, well, what females to go against each other? So they had picked myself, and then they had picked Sabrina Eubanks. So, you know, we out here doing our little thing, and then, you know, Sabrina's workload was heavy. So G was like, all right, Black, step in. So Black like, I got it, tag me in. So, you know, that her schedule is busy and there's a lot going on, so we didn't have a chance to go against each other. And then I came back to G and was like, yo, I think it'd be good if we go ahead on and we do this collab together. And he was like, damn, that would be hot. So, you know, we got with Black, and Black was like, let's go. And then we just went, you know, we sit down and we go back and forth with characters and everything, and it's just been exploding. We were going to do 2 books to it, but we feel like we can just go hard in one. That's why it's taking us a little longer. I'm the slowpoke. I'm just going to point that out. Black always hurries up. I'm the slowpoke because I'm always overanalyzing everything. I get it back. Yes, I'm like, I get it back, and I'm like, okay, what did Black say in this chapter? Then I read through it, and I touch it. And the dynamic, the best thing about a collaboration, what a lot of people don't understand, is both authors have to touch everything. So it's no you write and you just write, and I write and I just write. You know, Black sends something over, and I touch it, put my voice in it. I send something to her, she reads through it, and she puts some of her voice in that chapter. So we're both a part of all the characters, all the scenes, and everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's a really, really good experience to put the pen side by side.
Yeah. Now, this is Toni. I know Nene know my voice, but just in case everybody say Lissha and I sound alike, do you feel do you ladies feel that as a result of this collaboration, each of you has brought out the most powerful pen that you can possibly put to paper?
Definitely. Definitely. Because for me, I had never done a collaboration with anyone before. So it was a challenge, but I'm growing because I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, I'll write something, Nene will hit it, and I'll be like, oh, okay, you know, I like the way that flowed. That flowed a little bit better than the way I put it down, so you get an opportunity to grow and learn from one another. And I think the way that it's going to be presented is going to be so incredible and so explosive. Nobody is going to see it coming. Like, you're not, even though you've seen the cover, you know, and we've been out there promoting it's coming, but believe me, when it comes, it's going to hit hard. It's going to hit hard.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing, Black, is when you have a respect for a person and you have a respect for their pen, you try to show them how well you can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I wrote with Cash, like, we want to impress each other. You know what I'm saying? Not like, you know, like, it's like approval, you know what I'm saying, to a great author to put something in another great author's hands. It's like, you know what I'm saying, I want your approval. I want to see how you feel. You know what I'm saying? And when you send a chapter to somebody and they send it back like, oh, shoot, to you, that makes you feel good. You know what I'm saying? That makes you, you know, honor and respect the collaboration even more when you have that respect for the other author's pen and you write to elevate, you know what I'm saying, to step up to their level or to impress them. And I think that that's what makes it better as well, because we both respect each other as well as each other's pens.
Absolutely. And you both have such a gritty pen. I always say, you know, I love authors with a universal pen. Those are those pens that can go anywhere. They can take you to any country. They can put you in any situation. They can put you on Wall Street. They can put you back on the block right after. And how was it coming together collectively and being able to still do other projects? Because you both had books that came out while you were writing this book. So how are you able to balance that?
Oh, that was actually very easy because it's like Nene said from the beginning. She would be writing a chapter. She'll go ahead and write a chapter, and while she's writing a chapter, I'm working on my other project, and vice versa. So it's still giving us time to, you know, do our other things that we have on the side. So one week I would write all diamonds, pumps, and Glocks. Just put everything down. A couple weeks I'm just doing just that. And then I give it back to her, and she's going back through my chapter, then adding her chapter. And then I go back. So we have time to go back and forth, and still do other things in between. So it's like really good because we still hit each other's chapters, and we still go in and take things out and pull things aside and be like, oh, I'm going to ask her about that. And, oh, you know, it's good that we can both sit down and at some point sit down and talk to each other and be like, okay, this is where I'm at. Do you feel this? Okay, I'm going back in. And we go back in and we start all over again. You know, and she'll be working on her projects, and I'm working on my projects while she's writing, and vice versa. So it's worked out pretty easy. It's been pretty convenient for me.
Yes, it is. We don't have no stress, you know, especially when you're working with somebody that's grown and experienced in the industry. You know, we're both authors. We're both publishers. You know, we both have some of the same schools of training. So it's like, you know, we know what to do in rise and in fall. You know what I'm saying? So it was good for me. You know, I don't multitask well sometimes. Lissha knows that. I'll be all over the place. So I'm always starting something new. So I'll be like, she'll be like, oh, Nene, you know, put something else over here if you want something. I'm just going to throw it on the floor. Just put something else on my desk. She just starts throwing the stuff on the floor. I just put it on the little pile that's next to her desk. I don't even put it on her desk no more. So, but yeah, it's a good experience. Hopefully we'll be able to wrap it up and have it for y'all at the high of the year. I just want to make sure that it's right. We know that it's highly anticipated, and I don't want it to, you know, just go out there and throw anything out. I try not to do that. You know what I'm saying? If I can help it, yes. And with us both coming and, you know, people watching and scrutinizing and wondering what's going to happen, I want us to come as correct as we possibly can. And I think that we have crafted a story that is so crazy, and the twists and the turns and how it's going to end is just going to blow, you know, the reader's minds. It's going to be phenomenally crazy.
Absolutely. Wow. Now, what's more important, the characters in the book or the plot?
Oh,
you have some authors that think that the plot is the best, but you have some that feel that the characters bring it out. I just want to get your both of your opinions on what do you think is more important, the characters or the plot?
For me, I think it's both. It's know what's more important in that situation. It's both. They go hand in hand. If you don't have a well-developed character doing his or her thing, the way that you dreamt them to be, however you imagine them to be, if they aren't developed well, if they don't tell their story well, it's not going to work. The plot, it has to be on point, because if it's not, if the plot drags, it's just terrible, no twist, no nothing, then you got a problem. You got great characters, but the storyline was dry. So they go hand in hand. I don't think one is more important than the other.
Absolutely. I agree with what Blaque said. However, when I know, for me personally, when I'm writing, the characters are most important at first for me because they have to tell the story. So it doesn't matter what I put together as far as the direction or, where I want the story to go. They take over and tell their story. The story does not belong to me, to us as authors. It's not our story. These people come to us. They come to us in dreams. They come to us in daydreams. They come to us in the middle of the night, in the shower, like, tell my story. And once they are created, once they have breath and they sweat and they smell things and they touch things and they taste things, they are alive to us. And then from there, it's their plot. It's their story. So our job is to just tell it the best way we can so that their voice can be as loud as it can in our book.
Wow, that's powerful. And on that same thing, with the characters taking over, do you ladies ever start a book with a certain title, but then your characters take over and you have to change that title because that's not what they want to be about?
Absolutely. The Pussy Trap was going to be hot cocoa until they asked me, was it about a stripper? And I said, nope. So their epic fail on that one. Well, they're looking at me like, well, is it about a stripper? What the hell is it about? No, it's not about a stripper. It's like, back to the drawing board, Nene. I'm like, okay. So, yeah, sometimes it goes down like that.
Blaque, have you ever experienced that?
Yeah, quite a few times. It's been like, okay, I got the bomb title, and then it's like, oh, I just finished it. No, that's not going to work. And that's how Exhale was born, because it was the Twisted Consequences of something. It was some long, crazy title that I can't even remember, and I was like, that's not going to work. That's just too long. No.
Like, what am I doing?
So it was like back to, Shauna was like, back to the drawing board with that one. You got to figure something else out because that's not going to work. We can't even fit all of that on the cover. So figure something else out. And that's how Exhale was born. One word. Just one word.
Yeah, just one word.
Like a lot.
Just say what you got to say with your chest. Just say it with your chest.
Right. Exactly.
Now, if you could cast your characters in a Hollywood adaptation of your books, who would play your two main characters? We'll start with Blaque. Just pick one of your books. And if you could cast that book as a play.
I don't think any of my books would be casted as a play. I need rated R movie type situation. I really don't think that a play would suit any of my characters very well. But, no, then again, maybe settle the score would. But,
well, it's a Hollywood adaptation. So it could be a play, it could be a movie, but it's going to be big. But who would you have to play your two main characters?
I would have, I don't know. I've never even thought that far, but I know I would love to do Wildfire, and I think I would love to have Sanaa Lathan. I would say Sanaa Lathan as Mania in Wildfire. I think that would be hot. And I would pick, maybe Queen Latifah as another character that's in Wildfire, but I don't want to give too much away because it gets too much of the plot away. So. But I think I would definitely do Queen Latifah and Sanaa Lathan in Wildfire.
I can see Sanaa Lathan as that character.
Definitely, we're trying to get that trap going. I'm praying, really soon. Been out here getting my trap going, so we're gonna be seeing some things pop up. However, right now, there's no one in Hollywood that could satisfy my characters, I believe. I want to see new faces. Black Hollywood has so many phenomenal actors that are not mentioned, that are not known, that nobody, has an opportunity to have exposure to. They have phenomenal looks and great talents. I really would love to see that, and I would love to see that across the board in our favorite movies. Like, I'm trying to look at the same people. I'm just tired of it. You know what I'm saying? That's me personally. Mm-hmm. I would really, really want to see a person step into Kayson's character, because I don't see anybody out there that could fit him. You know, he's like 6'3", you know, he got hazel eyes. He's built phenomenally, and I think that it would really taint what my readers feel about Kayson and how they feel about Coco if I did not exactly hit it on the mark. So I would really have to do a crazy casting call, you know, and make sure I had it right, because if not, they would boo me right off the stage. They would be so mad with me if I messed up. Because I look at 50 Shades of Grey, and a lot of people is like they were upset because dude didn't have the gray eyes. I didn't read the book, but whatever, you know what I'm saying, that was to them. That was everything to the readers, you know. And my sister said she was in the movie theater because that was her movie and her book. And she said people was fussing and complaining, and she was like, shut up, because she just wanted to see it. But, you know, you had a consensus that was like, dude, you messed up our thing. You know, so I don't want that to happen to me. So I just, you know, I hope that I could really come across somebody and naturally cast and have a fresh face that's just a monster. Definitely.
Absolutely. And I watched that 50 Shades of Grey, and I didn't like the movie. I didn't like the book. And I didn't like the book because it was just all sex, really, to me. It had no plot. It had no purpose. And I can't read a book that has no direction. It's just fake me, flat me, pull my hair, and that's it. Y'all ain't doing nothing else. Ain't nothing going down. Okay, I can't. She ain't helping you do nothing. You ain't doing nothing. I just can't. I couldn't. And the movie was like, I was like, what was the purpose of this movie here? So, yeah, no, I didn't like
backstory, no nothing.
No nothing. It was like dry toast. I'm just saying. Dry toast. Dry toast.
Wow.
That's terrible.
Now, do you guys read your reviews? When you get your reviews, do you read them?
Blaque, go ahead.
Yeah, I read my reviews. And I actually find them very helpful. I don't look at them, you know, even the ones that are not so hot. I read all of them, and I take it all in. Anything that anyone says about any of my writing, I take it and I try to evaluate it. I try to make myself better. So I'm like, you know what? Oh, I can see where they were coming from with that. I can see that. And I'm like, okay, the next book, I'll make sure I don't do, I got them. And I do read them. I take it all in, even the good ones. Of course, I love the good ones. I love the bad ones, too, because I can find my flaws. I can find my faults. And I'll make sure next time if it was something that was broken, I'll fix it. But, sometimes I didn't see it as broken. So, hey, I'm going to keep doing what I do.
Absolutely. And I agree with that 100%. That's it. Yeah, because, you have to be able to listen to the readers because, like I always call them bosses because we work for them. And yes, there are some things that will upset them because they'll sure give you a 2-star if you kill somebody that they love. You know what I'm saying? They can read the whole book and be like, I love this book, but you killed my favorite character, 2 stars. You know what I'm saying? Like, some stuff you just be like, well, there was nothing that I could do about that. Like Blaque said, I can't fix that. I'm sorry, they're gone. You know what I'm saying? But, you want to read all the reviews. And, I only read them like the first week or two that the book is out just to see the first reaction. Then I might go back for a minute because it's kind of nerve-wracking sometimes because, you getting them and they're saying different things and you're trying to read them and then you're concentrating on that. So I mostly just stay away from the reviews after the first couple of weeks, and then I'll look up and it's like 50 or 60 of them. Then I'll go back and start reading reading them again and just seeing how the bosses felt. And like Blaque said, trying to take constructive criticism, like, whoa, I missed that, or I didn't see that, or in my next book I need to do this, if they give you something that's really meaty. But if it ain't for you, you just, keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's funny. Oh, go ahead, see.
No, I said wow because, a lot can be gleaned from the way they review a book, and it's just a matter of how you pick it apart and make it work for you.
Absolutely. And, sometimes there are malicious reviews, But for me, I'll read the 2-star review and the 1-star review before I read the 5-star review. Like Cash always says, the first 20 5-star reviews are just like your diehard fans and family and friends. I want to know why they gave it 2 stars. Now, if you gave it 2 stars and you in your feelings, that tells me that you can feel that author's pen. That tells me that that's a good book because they done dragged you in the book. And this is no longer a review. This is a message board. You know, you sending a message letting them know how you feel. And you using their review in the process. So that tells me I need to read this book because this author has a pen. They leave a signature, and I could feel it. Because they got 10 1-star reviews, and they're not talking about grammatical stuff. They upset because of something that was in the book. Somebody broke up. Somebody slept with somebody. They didn't like that such and such ain't come back. I mean, that makes you want to read it. Would you agree, Lee?
I agree. You know, and just like any product, you always look at what they're focusing on. If it's not the whole, if it's just one aspect of it, you know, that's something that I need to pay attention to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if you guys didn't write books, what would you guys be doing?
Write books. Write books. There would be
Blaque
no
said, I don't
other
know. No such thing. I don't know.
What does that mean?
No other
like
such thing. I don't know what that is.
To write is to breathe for us, you know. So even if I didn't write urban fiction, I would still write. I would write poetry. I always have. Yes, I would write plays. I would write something. I wouldn't be able to breathe if I couldn't write. Like I'm writing, we're doing Diamonds, Pumps, and Glocks, and I was taking a minute to catch this chapter, and I had to tell Blaque, look, I had to take it back to the pen and paper because I had to go old school so my thoughts could really flow. You know, that ink on that legal tablet, I wrote the whole Pussy Trap on a legal tablet, and I had to go back to my training, you know, to what I know. So I will always write. I'm into the law, so I do practice, you know, legal services and different things like that. So I will always have 50 tricks in the bag, but writing, I don't think I could be able to breathe if I couldn't write.
That's funny. I always have a yellow pad. I have tons of yellow pads on my desk. When you said that, I was like, I had a quick vision. In the law.
My first book was actually written on pen and paper. Like I wrote my first book on pen and paper. But if I couldn't, if I wasn't able, I started out writing music originally because I used to sing. So I would write music and poetry and stuff like that. And I was like, well, you know, a song is generally only 3 to 4 minutes long. How can you tell a whole story in 3 to 4 minutes? That's just not enough time for me to kill somebody. I just need to do it. I need a little more time. So I started writing. And it was like, you know what? This is what I was meant to do. This right here is what I was put here to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Absolutely. You know now, you guys both came along during the paperback era. Can you just talk a little bit about the difference between being able to have ebooks and do paper books? Do you see such a big difference? Was it hard for you to switch over?
Not for me because I came in with paperback. I still release paperbacks. I'm a paperback reader. I love Kindle. You know, I love e-readers. Wonderful thing, great. But it's something about the smell, the feel of a book. And I know it's more people like me out here in this world. So I'm a paperback hustler. I don't mind. I'll sell my paperbacks to you in the carry-out, in the grocery store, at family functions, the cookout. I have you reading a book. I don't care what it is. I love paperbacks. So the transition wasn't too hard because it was like, I was always a paperback reader, but ebooks just took over. But you still have a lot of paperback readers out there that are like, oh, look, I am not buying your book or ebook. I'm just not. So please talk to whoever you have to talk to get me a paperback, even if it's just one. So I'm always going to love and respect the paperback and the paperback hustle because, for real, it's how I came in. It's how I started.
Absolutely. Same here. And I started in the paperback game when it wasn't this ebook phenomenon. I don't think that a lot of authors will ever have that feeling of what it feels like to move hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books through a trunk of a car. They just won't have that feeling. And I think as an author, every author needs to experience that. You know, you need to be able to experience that paperback grind, that paperback hustle. You know, we used to get up and hit the New York streets Saturday morning, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. We load in the car to be there to meet the vendors at 8 o'clock so they can catch all the shoppers and the readers that are coming by, their tables. A lot of authors will never experience that. That part of the game is gone. You know what I'm saying? When we hopping from Brooklyn to Harlem to the Bronx, we all over New York City. We all up and down the D.C., Maryland, and Virginia coast, when people were just, at their day jobs. You know what I'm saying? They weren't writing. Now everybody's writing. It was only a few people out there, T. Styles, Quan, Treasure Blue, Shannon Holmes, Alfred D. Banks, like all them type of cats, who popped them trunks, and it's a beautiful, beautiful experience. And I still run my business the same way. I'm still in contact with all those vendors and different people all over the place. Moving that paperback is no better feeling than when you get that book in your hand and it's perfectly put together and that cover is so shiny, it's so pretty, and you got some pages, and yes, it's just a beautiful, beautiful experience. But I do think that the ebook phenomenon has made a lot of authors lazy, because I heard an author tell me I can't sell books outside of a book signing because I know they're there to sell books. Like I don't know what everybody else wants to do in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, no, you sell a book to everybody. Like, you don't know who reads. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy, because that's like, okay, like, what do you do when you're not at a book signing? Like, what are you doing with your books? Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, you wrote all those words for what? Like, what did you do that for? So that people could like you on Facebook and they could click like. Likes on Facebook do not equal 1 click on Amazon.
That's true. That's so true. You just brought back such a vision, because I used to love going down in Brooklyn, Flatbush Avenue, Fulton Street, when you have the vendors with their tables set up and all those authors that you just mentioned. It's like, oh, I got to get in another book. And sometimes you walk away with 3 or 4 books and you can't wait to dive in. So it is a work of art. And to see an author, do that paper book hustle is a thing of art, really. It really is. It gives you a much more appreciation for that author's pen when you see that passion come out to try to get the book into the reader's hands.
Yes, it's not easy. Go ahead.
It's not. And I want to talk about that. It's the title of our show tonight, The Game Changer. Is there one specific thing in the industry that changed the game for you? And I go with Blaque first.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. It's not just one thing. I think it's been a collective of a lot of things. It's just been the whole experience that has made me, see things for what they are, learn the business, know who you are in business with, always just practice good business ethics. Just do what you've got to do to build your name and build your brand. That's the most important thing, and that's one of the things that I think a lot of authors now don't do what other authors did then. Is really build their brand. Okay, it's great that you have one hot book. Who cares if nobody knows about it? So I think that's been what I've seen change a lot. If you don't put your stamp on it, if you don't make your mark, that's going to be devastating later on for you if you don't make your mark, because there are a lot of people that come, they say they can write, they wrote one great book, and then you never hear from them again. And they never left their mark. They never built their empire. They never did that. So that's what you have to do in this industry, where if somebody picks up your book, they see your name on it, and they're like, okay, Yeah, she just wrote a sci-fi book, but it's Blaque. I'm going, it's Nene Capri. I'm going to still buy it because even though it says sci-fi, I know it's Nene Capri, so I know it's going to be fire. Regardless, you have to stamp it. You got to build a solid foundation, build your brand.
Absolutely. I agree.
Now,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Nene.
Nope, you go.
No, because I'm glad I'm glad Toni did that question because you both have been signed to publishers and you both have done your own thing because you both have publishing companies. But can you just talk a little bit about the difference or the transition between like being traditionally published and self-published in that process? Because I think that a lot of times authors, the publishers investigate the authors. They know your pen, they're looking at your work, whether you sent in a submission or they saw something you put out. But authors rarely investigate publishers. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean investigate like for dirt, but I mean you have to know if it's a good fit. What do you need? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Are you going to fit there? Because if you need somebody to hold your hand and A1 Publishing is not about holding hands, then it's not going to be a good fit for you because you're not able to do that. Just talk a little bit about being able to discern what would be good for you, whether it would be to self-publish or go traditional.
I think that first of all, you have to know, like Blaque just mentioned, you have to know your brand. You have to know where you're trying to go with your work, and you have to see if this company can take you there to that next level. Can they put you in those other places that you aren't already? Myself personally, I would never sign with a person on my level. No disrespect to anybody, but I would sign with, from who I am and where I built my pen. I'm just gonna keep going up. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're on the same level and we both selling 10 books, I'm selling 10 books. Why am I signing with you so you can sell 10 books for me? You know what I'm saying? You only selling 10 of your own. So I would never put myself in that type of position. So you have to tell yourself, what is this company going to do for me? Where can it take my career? How can it extend the brand that I've already built, established, or where am I going with my brand? When I signed with Wahida, I did not really know where I wanted to go with the brand because I didn't write for that. You know what I'm saying? I wrote for the company. I wrote for the family. I wrote to put something hot on the brand. However, once I learned industry and I knew everything, and then I signed with G Street, it had something more than what Wahida was able to offer me. You know what I'm saying? I got with G, and it was a whole different situation. And, he taught me how to be independent and helped me hone my publishing company and the things I needed to do and the moves I needed to make. So that was a total bonus. You know what I'm saying? That was an absolute bonus. My contract is phenomenal. I have no problems with that. So those are the things you have to look for. Is your contract better than the contract you had before? You know what I'm saying? Are you getting more benefits? Are your books going to be in more places, more stores, prison catalogs, library catalogs? What is this company giving you? Because I don't need anybody to sit on Facebook and just say they my publisher and put up a couple of links. You know what I'm saying? And I'm nowhere, and I'm doing no signing. And what are we doing? And I got an ebook out. I'm paying you some more money just for the ebook. I don't even have any paperback. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? So you have to know, your company, and you want a company to say, hey, I got Nene Capri over here with me. You don't want people to have to say, oh, she's over there with them. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I pick. I want people to say, yo, I got Nene, not, Nene's over there. So that's how I feel about that. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. What else y'all got? What else y'all got? Y'all know I got to go over here on Real Raw Radio and act like a fool. It's No Filter Friday, so I'm going to be leaving y'all in about 5 more minutes. I hate to have to run out of the clubhouse, but BlackWidow will be in here in a minute. She's going to keep it popping with Blaque, and it's going to be crazy. Y'all going to have 2 dark sides in here. I'm mad I'm going to miss it because I'm like, darn it, I know I want to stay here with my babies because they got the slick tongues and it's been ready to go down. But I'm excited about the interview. I don't want to cut nobody off, but I know I got to get over here and open up the other doors down the hall, or people will be standing in the hallway. But go ahead, Lissha. I think I got enough videos. So go ahead, Blaque, answer your part, because I'm a bounce out in 2 more seconds. Go ahead.
All right, well, for real, you said you summed it all up for me, boss lady, because that's pretty much the sense. But I've always been published under G Street, but I would have never gone anywhere where they wouldn't encourage me to build my brand, encourage me to, want better and move the way that I'm moving. If it was looking shady, I would probably be like, yeah, I can't stay here anymore. But G, he takes the reins and he's like, look, this is what you can do this. Let's do it this way. And it's not, he wants me to succeed. So that's what's good. That's the great part about being a part of the G Street family, because they're not just going, okay, we're going to cash checks. Or, she's going to write books and we're going to cash checks. It's not like that. At any given time, if I have an idea or something comes up, I can call G or call Shauna and be like, hey, what do you think about this? I was thinking maybe we could do this. And it's like, oh, okay, well, let's do it. I mean, literally. And so it's a good move for me. And I just don't see how anybody could not want the experience that I've had. And I'm not trying to, knock nobody else's hustle, but I just don't see how anybody couldn't want to travel around the country and sell books, and tell people, hey, look, I just wrote this great book. This is for you. You've got to read it. And then next thing you know, they on Facebook or whatever, where you aren't anyway because you in the streets. But they like, oh, yeah, I found her on Facebook. Yeah, thanks, baby. I like that book. I'm glad you sold that to me. So that's what I think I want to teach all of my authors that are up under Pink Angel Publications. I want them to understand, embrace it, build your brand too. Yeah, I'm a stepping stone, but build your own too, because you can. So you should. So, always strive for better.
That's awesome. I know Nene said he has to go, but a hand just popped up. So we're going to just open up the line so someone can ask you a quick question. Nene, you have a few minutes?
Yes, okay, I do.
We're going to take 574-218. You're live on this chat. What's your name and where you calling from?
Miss Radiance from Georgia.
Hey, Miss Radiance.
Hey,
how y'all doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I was just calling
I'm here. Thank you.
Let y'all know that I'm excited about the release, and I'm proud of the moves you're making, and I'm looking forward to being on your levels one day, eventually.
Well, we looking forward to you being above our level, so come on here, because somebody else got to do it, because Mama going to be sitting down. Shoot, I got something. You come on here now, but we're going to pass the torch on, and you can go on ahead now. So.
I'm trying. I'm building my brand as we speak.
You got it.
You're not even trying. You're doing.
Yes,
you're not even trying.
Right.
You're doing.
That's right. Just keep on pushing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for calling. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Miss Radiance.
Thank you.
Always.
We're going to put you back in the queue, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Now, Nene, we know you have to go, so we want you to shout out your social media and your work and where people can get it, so that they can grab that tainted.
Grab it. Yes, get it all. Yes, this is the boss lady, Nene Capri. You can find me, Nene Capri, on all social networks. That's how you brand. You have to keep those social networks synonymous. I have the Pussy Trap series, which I have just taken control over. So it is no longer under Wahida Clark Presents. It is now under Nene Capri Presents. Thank you, Lord. After 2 long years of struggle and fight, the trap is home. So it will be re-releasing on Monday. Lissha opened her cave. We talking about being on her cave, under her cave, and eating a damn drink. I'm like, hurry up, Lissha. We missing money. Get it up there. Sell. I'm like the dude and Trading Places. Turn them damn machines back on. Sell. So, yeah. So we trying to get stuff back rolling. We have the Tainted series of the G Street Chronicles. We got Tainted 1 and Tainted 2. Definitely get over there and pop that. Tainted 2 just came out. Tainted and Pussy Trap series are coming together crazy in Tainted Part 3. So that'll be out next spring. And then we have the Trust No Bitch series with Cash 1, 2, and 3. So definitely one-click those. We got that Dreamweaver also under G Street Chronicles. So definitely get yourself over there and get yourself trapping, get yourself tainted, learn how not to trust these bitches, and, give them those dreams. All while you at it. I'm the boss lady, Nene Capri. I'm getting ready to go down the street to No Filter Friday, so definitely call in 347-826-7011. Press that 1. We're talking about bitter and petty bitches. So come on over there and get those ones pressed. Let's leave the building.
Right. Thanks for joining us, Nene.
Yes, thank you, Blaque. I love you. I'll be calling you in a day or so. I'm trying to hurry so I can put the ball back in your court.
All right. I'll be waiting.
All right, y'all have a good rest of the show. Tell my baby when she comes in I love her. Make Mama proud.
Okay.
Julia. Bye. Thank y'all for listening. Good night.
Now, Blaque, I do have a question for you. What advice would you give up and coming? What would be your best form of advice?
Keep writing. Better your craft. That would be my first thing. Be open to criticism. Don't, especially if someone is offering it to you, definitely be open to criticism. Be open-minded and just keep writing because, one book is great, but 10 great books is better. So keep writing, keep bettering your craft. Because if you don't study it and, better it, just constantly do what you got to do to make it perfect. Don't stop writing until, it's like the end and you feel good about saying, the end. Just keep going, always. You might not have the best book the last time you did it, but keep going. You never know what's going to happen for you.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that because we always say every book you write is not going to hit. Everybody is not going to like everything that you write. So those authors that are kind of going through it right now, what advice would you give them, the frustrated ones that are like, oh, my God, this book, it's been 6 months. It's not what I thought it was going to be. I don't know what to do. What advice would you give those authors that are like in the struggle and it's like they're at their wit's end of knowing when to move on to the next book or how to get themselves out of the rut they feel that they're in?
If it's a book that they've already written and they put it out and it was like, oh, it didn't bang like I wanted it to bang, then, okay, read your reviews. Find out what made, if you get some reviews or whatever, however it presents itself, the criticism or the critique. Take them for what they are worth. If, they said, oh, I don't like this or, oh, I don't like that, take that and run with it. Be like, oh, okay, I better yourself. Again, going back to bettering yourself. If you are, new author just trying to write and it's not coming out the way that you want it to, step away from it for a minute. Just take a step back. I know, your family knows you're writing. Everybody is like, oh, when you going to release that book? When you going to release that book? Don't let anybody pressure you. Just do it for you in the beginning, especially with a new author. Do it for you to say you sat down and you wrote this book from beginning to end. Don't care about what anybody else is going to think about it. I don't care about what anybody thinks about my work in a sense. It's accomplishment for me. I did this. I wrote it. I like the story. Yeah, you might think it's a little gory or too freaky or too, whatever. But I enjoy writing it, so I get my high off of just writing it. So you got to have that same enthusiasm where you have that high for writing. You just want to be high from writing and just keep going. Because every book is not going to bang. Everyone is not going to be, it's not going to move the way you want it to move. But that's okay. If you love it, then hell, it's great. If you love it.
Wow, that's awesome. This is Toni. I'm back. You speak of your work, and I know you say you have 16 titles, and right now the collab is your 17th one. What would you say has been your most proudest piece of work that you put out? Where you say, this is my pen, this is on the strength of my pen, this is my proudest piece of work?
It will probably be The Imperfect Storm, because it was everything that my writing has never been. It was a thriller. Even though I do write gory stuff and twisted, dark stuff, I've never written a thriller. So The Imperfect Storm is probably like my best work, in my opinion, because it was different. I like when I challenge myself to write from different genres, because I've written across several different genres. But The Imperfect Storm took me through something. I had to really research all kinds of stuff. I mean, like, things you wouldn't believe about the places that my character was from, the different places they traveled in a short amount of time in the book. I had to really take myself there. And some of the things that I had my characters do, I had to research and study. I felt like I was in school all over again, researching and studying for The Imperfect Storm. It didn't even, most of my books take place in Washington, D.C., or the surrounding areas, because I write about what I know, my home. But that took place in New Orleans. And it really made me step outside of my box. It made me step outside of my box and find a way to make what I read and what I studied and what I had previously seen when I visited New Orleans, and put it in a book and make it real for everybody else reading it. And it's still having my same twist and plot. And it worked out, and I loved it. I loved it.
Absolutely. Now I have another question, because I know a lot of times people have a misconception on just having an understanding of their team, like knowing what their publisher should do, knowing what their editor does, and just being able to grasp that. But what would be your best marketing tips to give those authors that are trying to figure out how to get their momentum going and pushing their brand to the next level?
Don't be shy, and anybody that passes you, you don't let them pass you without them knowing that you wrote a phenomenal book. And I'm not talking about just on social media. I'm talking about in the street, in the Walmart, in the nail salon, at the gym. Everybody should know you have a book. Your grandma, if she's still living, so help you God, she should know you have a book. Everybody needs to know you have a book out there for them to purchase, experience this roller coaster ride of emotions. Never stop selling it. Never stop pushing yourself out, because once you do, you might as well hang up your little pen and your quill and your tablet and put your little laptop away, because when you stop believing in yourself to do it and say, hey, I wrote a great book, then you're never going to be able to convince anybody else. So
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. Now, with your 16 titles out, Blaque, what keeps you fresh? What keeps your creative juices flowing?
Everyday life. I live in the nation's capital. I see it all. I live right on Capitol Hill, so real political area. And then I live like 2 steps from the hood, so it's not too, you see all kinds of stuff. Anything, just anything. The news, my friends, my family, anything that might be going on, it could be anything that's happening. It will spark an interest. I was literally watching football with Mr. Blaque and his friends a couple nights ago, and they were like, they were saying something about the whole Caitlyn Jenner. They were talking about the Caitlyn Jenner situation. They were like, no, they had so many different opinions about this Caitlyn Jenner thing, and I was like, I was like, yeah, he's tricking for change. He was tricking for change. He needed to go ahead. And I was like, oh, yeah, I like that title. That's kind of fly. And then my characters came from there. And the storyline just started building and building as I'm listening to these men talk about daily events, entertainment news. And it was like, oh, yeah, I think I could do something with that. And that's how the book I'm working on now, and it was born. Everyday stuff, conversation, anything.
Wow.
No, that's right. Now, we always talk about how, in this industry, it can be really tainted sometimes. But how are you able to continue to just keep your integrity and walk and grow in such a tainted genre? Sometimes it just gets too much. But how are you able to stay one step above that? And what advice do you give your authors to stay one step above that?
I noticed that, I do want to, I tell them, reach as many people as you possibly can. But it's some things that you have to pull back. You have to present yourself in a good light. I've definitely learned walk my own walk. And I can help you get there if you want to go, but I can't take everybody. And I've definitely learned that. I've learned to just not stay in my own lane, but create my own bridge and drive across that. Yeah, just drive across it, and that's it. I ignore whatever's going on in the industry because it is tainted. You see all kinds of stuff, and you see all kinds of stuff, and it's wild. It's wild, and you just have to know how to see it, but not see it, and just keep on going. See it, but not see it, and keep on going. And that's what I do. I just mind my business. I'm like, hey, I wrote my book. Here's my book. We talk about daily events. I'm just not going to get real personal close to a lot of different people, things, and issues. I just don't. Not anymore. I used to, but not anymore. Not anymore. That's not my job. My job is to give you great books. And for me to give you great books, I got to stay out of the BS.
That's right. That's true. Now, Blaque, this is Toni. Now, we're both in the bookstore, and I'm looking at some books. And I come across your book, and then I go past it, and I pick something up. But you're standing there. Give me a reason why I should pick that book back up and buy it.
Oh. Yeah, I see you eyeing my cover. You like that cover. That cover's popping, right? I know. What kind of books do you like? What kind of books do you like, sweetheart? What kind of books you like? Oh, you read, you like twisted books. Okay, let me tell you what you need. You need that book that you just thought you was going to walk by. Let me tell you why I wrote that book. And I can guarantee you one hell of a read. I'm going to show you things you never thought existed or things that have never been done before. I'm going to take you places you ain't never been, but you're going to want to go once you get this book. So you might as well go ahead and get part 1, 2, and 3 of that dirty DNA, baby, because you ain't never met a family like this one. So come on. Oh, you want me to make those out for you? I'll make those out for you right now. Come on.
I love it. I know that's right. You better pass that down. They get that book and the other 2 books sit next to it too. What about these?
Right, and don't forget Powder, because she gonna rock you to sleep at night too. So don't even sleep on her. No white girl gonna take you places too. So you might as well go on and get all 4. Now your shopping experience is done. You don't even need to pick up no other books for real, because you got 4 of the greatest right there. I promise.
I know that's right.
I love that, Blaque. I love it.
Oh, man. Oh, that was a good one. I'm sorry, T. Go ahead.
No, I don't know what to say after that. I got to go buy some books.
Okay, I got a good one. If you could do a collaboration with any author, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Donald Goines. Because I'm going to have to choose the dead side of the dead or alive. And I say Donald Goines because I love his dark, gritty writing style. It was just so emotional. I mean, his characters took you through something. If I had to pick one, it was dead. Because I hope that the ones that I want to write with while they're alive and while I'm alive, we get an opportunity to write together. So I would choose Donald Goines. I just loved his work. I think that was my introduction really into urban fiction. And because I always read stuff like Edgar Allan Poe and Dante Alighieri with the oh goodness, I can't even remember the title, but the author was Dante Alighieri. And I like to read stuff like that. It's not the typical urban fiction. Yes, I do love people like T Styles. I love Nene Capri style, even though I can only read a little bit and they be like, oh, man, I got to put it down because I got a book too. But it's been an honor to be able to write with her. So I'm glad I am getting to do that, and I hope I have many more collaborations because it's been a fun experience.
Now, on your way out the chat room, I want you just to give us a little bit about what we can expect out of that Diamonds, Cups, and Blocks, because we're all excited about it. We got people that just tuned in. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect without giving away the whole kitchen sink.
You can expect my twistedness because I am incredible with the plot twist. Like, I'll lead you one way, and when you get to the end of the book, you're going to be like, oh, my God, did she really do this? Oh, Lord. That's not what I never saw that coming. And it's going to give you Nene Capri's grittiness. It's going to give you characters that are so well built, you're going to fall in love with them. And unfortunately, we're going to kill some of them in some of the darkest, most horrible ways. And for the reasons that some of these people must go, you're going to hate us in the end. And I'm sure we're going to get some hate reviews because we're going to take we're going to take you on a roller coaster ride from the beginning to the very end. And we're going to pull at your heartstrings. We are going to put all of these, we pour so many emotions into this book that by the time you get to the end, you're going to be like, damn. I don't know what to say. You're going to be speechless, mouth wide open. The only thing you're going to be able to do is go leave a review. And it's going to be no less than 5 stars. I promise you.
Absolutely.
That's book itis. That we talk about.
That's that book itis.
Anything else?
Yes. So I call it book itis. We've kind of branded that. When you read a book and then you get finished and you can't read any other book after that, like everything is on a level. You got speed. You got the 5 speed. You got the 10 speed. You got a 20 speed. Now, seems like Diamonds, Cups, and Blocks going to be a 20 speed. So unless you got another 20 speed book to read after that, y'all going to be in y'all feelings for a mighty long time. I'm just saying. I'm excited. Yes. I can't wait. I cannot wait. On your way out the chat room. Go ahead.
Well, from the first page, we're going to tug at your emotions and your heartstrings, and we're just going, oh, my God, we're going to drag you along for the ride of your life. Like, you are going to look at this book and be like, these 2 women have taken me there. They have taken me there and brought me back, and now I don't know what to do with myself. I'm not going to be able to read nothing else. It's going to be a while before you're able to pick up something else because it's not going to compare.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Can't wait.
And that's the one thing about a gritty, fast-paced pen because, see, with authors like that, you can't tell if they were females or males. Like, if they didn't know they were females, you would think that a man wrote the book. And that's the best part. That's that universal pen style. But before you go, we want you to shout out your social media and your books and where people can get them so we can make sure that they get some of that Black assassin in their life.
All right. On Facebook, I am located on Black Literary Assassin, or Blaque the Authoress is my fan page. You can find me on Instagram at the Black Angel, and on Twitter it's Black Cap City. My books are everywhere books are sold. Anywhere, bookstore, mom and pop shops, you can find me. I'm around. I am everywhere. My titles is the Bait and Snatch series, the Exhale series, Powder, the Dirty DNA series, Cold Case Love, the Wildfire series, Cassie that just dropped. Yes, and I hear that's one of my best ones today. Yeah, I'm going to pat myself on the back for that. The Imperfect Storm. I have a lot of them, so I can't even, it'll probably take too much time. I'm sorry. I can't even remember half of them, and that's bad. But it's a lot of them. You can Google Blaque the Authoress. I'll pop up, and my titles will, too.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, Blaque, thank you so much for joining Lissha and myself here on Let's Chat. This is your home. Anytime you have anything new you want to get out to your readers, just hit us up, and we'll make it happen. So thank you so much for joining us on Let's Chat.
Thank you, ladies. You all have a good evening and a blessed weekend.
Thank you, you too. So you were just listening to the author, awesome, Blaque, and she's doing a collaboration with Nene Capri. At least you want to take a quick break before we take in our next guest?
Yes, ma'am. Now we got our next guest coming in, Miss BlackWidow. Now, BlackWidow is the newest addition to the Nene Capri Presents family. So she's going to come in and talk a little talk. We're going to play our other little favorite clip in her favor, because this is the one that we love, and it's called, it's the Mike and Molly review, well, the Mike and Molly clip, Selling Yourself. And this is for you, BlackWidow.
This book that sits before me is the physical manifestation of all your hard work, the fruits of your labor, the vessel in which you've laid bare your soul, exposing it like a freshly waxed orifice.
It's beautiful.
Bring it to your bosom.
Oh, my God, it's real, my own book. Oh, and look at me in that brown sweater. I fight it, but I really am an autumn.
I want you to enjoy this moment. The crowning achievement for every writer.
I will. I have dreamt of this day.
Good. Now wake up! You're not a writer anymore. From now on, you're a salesman, a carnival barker, and that book is your bearded lady, your dog-faced boy. You can join twins.
I get it. I got to sell the book.
Now forget about the book. You've got to sell yourself.
Okay, cut it out.
You must brand yourself like Stephen King, J.K. Rowling, that Chicken Soup for the Soul guy.
Okay, I get it. Just stop throwing it.
We'll start the media push with radio.
Oh, radio. This might want to be on TV.
That doesn't get on TV until this goes viral. Blogs, podcasts, social media. This needs to spread faster than gonorrhea in a Dutch prison.
Guess he's not jaywalking in Amsterdam. But what about that launch party? You just tell me when and where, and I'll throw in something brown.
Love to have a grand launch party for you. Unfortunately, the golden age of publishing is long gone. Oh, I miss the glamour, the money, the cocaine. Mostly the cocaine.
You know, I snorted Sweet and Low once. It mostly just stung, but I got into that sorority.
That's not to say that we're not going to celebrate. It'll just be a little less showy.
Oh.
Book launch!
Yeah! Oh, is that it?
Unless you have some cocaine.
We love that clip.
I love that. That's in honor of our next guest.
Yes, he took that book, he threw it across the room. It was like she was in awe, she was excited. The cover, it was one of them hardbacks. She was looking good in her little sweater. She just was like, oh, this is everything. And then it was like, wait a minute, what's going on? I don't know what happened. You just started throwing my book around. What is this? But that is our tribute to our newbie, Miss BlackWidow. Hey, Widow.
Hey, Widow.
Hello.
How you doing, sweetie?
Oh, hey, y'all. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good.
Now,
hey,
tell everybody a little
lady.
bit about you. Welcome. Tell everybody just a little bit about yourself, and because you're new stepping into the industry.
Yes. Well, I'm a mother of 3. I'm 27. I live in New Orleans, Louisiana. I've always wanted to write. I reached out to Miss Nene Capri, and she gave me such a wonderful opportunity. I have to show love to her. She came through for me in a really major way, and I reached out to her through social media, and she responded to me like at the drop of a hat. She didn't waste no time. She got back to me. I've been writing since I was 15. I just never really followed through with it because I got pregnant really young, and I went into mommy mode like almost instantly. It was just, that was my number one job. That was important to me. But I also made sure that I always wrote. You know, I went through a lot of things, and, you know, a lot of things that a lot of people go through, and I just used that as inspiration for me, and I just wrote about it. You know, I just wanted, like, when you read this book, you're really going to be reading my story. You know, you'll read something similar to that. I'm pretty sure a lot of women have been through that. They get pregnant early. I don't know about, I know you guys probably didn't, but I did. You know, because I didn't really have the guidance that I needed when I was growing up, but I didn't let it deter me or discourage me in any way. You know, like right now I'm doing very well for myself. You know, like I want to write. This is something I want to do, and I am an up-and-coming author, and I want other people to love that and respect it as well. And when they read my book, I want them to feel it because it is coming from my heart. I have a passion about it. I'm passionate about many things. That's just one of many. But, you know, it's not something that I just needed to do. It's something I want to do. So I hope that when they do read my book, they feel it. They'll feel it when they flip through the pages, and they'll get to know me as the author, as the woman, and as the mother.
Absolutely. Now,
yes, ma'am.
Which I see you can't really tell us much about the book, so I kind of don't want to answer too many book questions. But
yeah.
What are some of your writing habits? Like, you know, a lot of people have to get in the zone when they sit down and write, whether it's writing in the showers, running, or, you know, or M&Ms. What are your writing habits? Something that you have to do when you sit down to write?
I have to be by myself. I have to have peace and quiet. I don't like to be disturbed. I have to literally put my phone away from me, far away from me, so I don't have any distractions. But when it comes to me, it just comes to me. It rushes over me like a fever. So I can't help it. And I just thought, you know, I'm like a crazed maniac. I'm just typing and writing. And I'm like, oh, my God, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. You know, if I could just floods my mind. So it really just comes to me just like that. I have to jot it down almost instantly because I think of so many other things at the same time. My mind goes from 0 to 100 really quick. So I have to have peace and quiet. I like to type and write at the same time. You know, sometimes I talk out loud to myself as if I'm these people. I'm having a out-of-body experience. I'm talking in two. I ain't crazy. I'm just talking to two people. I'm talking to 5 different people. I'm like, yo, what's up? Yeah, nigga, you know what I mean? I just go into a whole other zone. You know, I'm not the only one that does it. I turn into a gangster, a lover, and a fighter all at the same time.
Wow,
that's
awesome. Now, this is Toni, Widow. You know, I guess for Blaque. Hey, sweetie. She you know, gets her inspiration from everyday life. Do you find yourself, like, throughout your days becoming, you know, see encounters that may spark a storyline?
Well, yeah, I do. My life is a story. My friends tell me this all the time. I live a story life. I mean, you have to live somewhat of a metaphoric life to be an author. You have to literally be about the things you write about or know people who are about those things because these ideas don't just come up on you from nowhere. You know, you have to have seen these things or lived this way or experienced some of this stuff. You have to literally be knowing what you're talking about. You can't just write about this stuff like I hate people. I mean, if you can do that, you are very, very talented. Like rappers do it every day. You know, they rap about drugs and how they kill people and never did it. So, I mean, you have to be talented to do that. You know, it's easy for people to make up anything and write about it, but you want people to believe it. You want people to feel it. And that's how. So yeah, I mean, I am an inspiration. My day-to-day life is what inspires me. Other people inspire me. The world in itself inspires me. You know, social media, what's happening on CNN. I look at all of that because it plays a part. That's what people are into right now. That's what people are paying attention to. So you want people to read what's popping, you know, and you do what you want when you're popping, right, Miss Toni?
That's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, you did mention that you didn't have the guidance when you were growing up that you wanted to have. What or who was your biggest support system when stepping into the shoes of wanting to be an author?
To be totally honest, I would have to give it to the people whose books I've read. You know, like when I came into fruition, when I told people I was doing this, it was a surprise. And they always knew me for reading and singing and, you know, hanging out and being a mother. But when I actually told them I was putting out a book, they were shocked. It wasn't until they actually called in and heard it for themselves that I was actually serious about this. Because I can procrastinate at times, only because I get distracted so easily. So, you know, they say, oh, she's just saying this now, you know, she's gonna do this next, you know. But I set out to do this and I stuck with it. I was serious about it because I didn't really want to prove a point to other people. This was a task for myself. This was a test for me. I actually wanted to see if I could complete it, you know, because I have issues with that. And not just with, you know, that's with anything. I'm known for doing something. I'm known for starting it, but I can't finish it. And I hate to feel like a failure. And I hate to feel like I didn't try. So, you know, I did it. I just did it. Like I'm still like surprised at myself. And now I find myself writing every day, you know, about different things. Not even my story that I was working on, but I write about other things and I see myself getting better at it. And I hate that I never really pursued it before. But, you know, everything is a life lesson, you know. It's a life lesson for me. I'm happy I'm pursuing it now. You know, I'm older, I'm wiser. I went through a lot of things. I went through a lot. And it's because of that I'm able to do it now. So, I mean, I don't have no regrets. I don't regret anything.
This is Toni. What has been your hardest hurdle getting to this point? You know, you almost have your book coming out. Has there been, like, what has been the hardest thing you had to overcome to make this dream of being an author come true?
The hardest thing has been getting people who I love and people who care about me to take me serious. That has been the hardest thing for me. And to show, you know, because it scares people when they see you branch off and do things that you've never done before, because they worry that you're going to change up on them. They worry that you won't act the same towards them. But I have a motto that I go by every day. People think what they do. I'm going to be me. You know, like I'm not doing this for myself. You know, like I'm not just doing this for me. I'm doing this because I want people to respect me. I want the people who I love a lot with my whole heart to know that this ain't about me. You know, like I thought about you when I had this dream. You was in my dream. You know, like you were a part of it. So it's just getting them to take me more serious. And they're doing it now. You know, they're taking me serious now. I just, you know, I hate that I have to kind of force a hand for you to take me serious.
Right.
So, yeah, that was the only issue.
Absolutely. Now, what is looking at your growth as an author and what you've been able to do? Because, you know, a lot of times everybody in your life is not meant to go to the next level with you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it'll be some people that got to be left behind, and it'll be the people that you least suspect that you got to leave behind. But they're not just meant to go there with you. But as an author, I think that the same goes with your writing. as well. Are there any certain type of scenes in writing that are harder for you to write than others, whether it's a love scene or a racy scene or an action scene?
Girl, it's kind of hard for me to write about